한 조각의 pizza.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
That's right, it's here, the official start of the new NBA season. I'm Ernie Johnson, excited to be here once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-round. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Chicago Bulls in their house, United Center. Looking at the Bulls, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. And another NBA season about to start. Shaq, we've talked about it. You can feel, I don't know, an air of excitement that's a little different than in years past.
There's a number of talented teams all wanting that ring. I've said this before. Kenny has said it many times. It could be one of the best seasons we've seen in a while, including what Golden State did last year in the ring.
That was an incredible run. But some teams that looked unstoppable last year will start to show some cracks in their armor. But the other teams that didn't look like much on paper last year, beginning this season, are now looking like they will surprise.
And that is it for now as we send you to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports Group.
The starting lineup for the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers. At power forward, Aaron Gordon. At shooting guard, Rodney Hood. At the other forward position, Lance Thomas. At center, Al Jefferson. Tony Parker. The head coach of the visiting team is David Blatt. At power forward, at 6'9", number 22, Taj Gibson. At shooting guard, at 6'6", number 24. The other forward position, standing 6'8", number 25. Damari Carroll. In the middle, 7 feet 1 inch, number 5, Tyson Chandler. Starting at the other guard, at 6'3", number 0, Russell Westbrook. Coach of your home team. The head coach.
We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. Welcome everyone to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and the Chicago crowd wants some love from their Bulls.
Tony Parker.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
You know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hood out there with Tony Parker. Then it's Thomas. Then there's Al Jefferson. And it's Gordon in at the power forward position.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich, we saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
On defense, the Bulls, it's a three-point game. Down low, here's Jefferson. The shot is off. Chandler with the defensive effort. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Over to the wing. Carroll with the three. They get the rebound. Gibson. They shoot again, and Chandler lays it in. Chandler's got his first points of the game.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Now, here's Parker. At the elbow, it's Gordon. They need this. Another miss by Parker.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in 07.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Hood, defended by Bryant. And here's the fast break. Bryant leading the way. And it's blocked by Gordon. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Parker passes to Jefferson. Jefferson, a screen on Kobe. Hood kicks to Jefferson. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Jefferson's got his first points of the night. Chicago leading by 5. And now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with David Blatt.
He told me that they'll have their work cut out for them looking to score inside with the elite shot blocker and defender Tyson Chandler patrolling the paint. He said he was the Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. He's got length, mobility, toughness, and the want to. He brings effort and communication defensively, and you can't forget about him at the other end either. An improved shooter, and he can definitely finish. Kevin, a ton of respect for what Chandler brings to the table.
Thanks, Doris. Now, here's Jefferson following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And for Aaron Gordon, so much fanfare entering the 2014 draft, selected 4th overall, which was actually a couple of slots higher, I think, Greg, than many experts thought.
I agree, and, you know, a lot of people obviously liked him, but Orlando clearly loved him and had very high hopes for this young man. And, of course, the injured foot, only 11 games a season ago, and never really got back on track.
And, you know, getting back to Aaron Gordon, his defense is really what had scouts most excited. He has the rare combination of strength, lateral quickness, and ups to defend multiple positions.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Here's Jefferson. Hits the front of the rim and out.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that look.
And talking about Aaron Gordon, everyone knew coming in that he was kind of unrefined. You're betting on his upside and hoping that he develops a consistent shot. And boy, if he does, you're talking about a guy who could become a perennial all-star.
For Cleveland, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with the reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper. Yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season.
Now, here's Marshall. O.J. Mayo missing his last shot. Marshall dishes to Stokes. The shot's good. Marshall making the play. And that ties it up.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
And getting back to Hood, over the last 7 outings of the season, he put up 20-plus points a game. He also, Clark, raised his shooting percentage to 45% from the field, 91% from the free throw line. Pretty impressive numbers.
Well, he was drafted to be a scorer, Kevin, and you're right, very impressive. If he can do that consistently, that'll be nice value for the 23rd pick.
Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
That helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Clark's checked in. Marshall, terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Yes.
Marshall's got his first bucket in this one. Oh, Chicago's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. 2.
You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
Here's Clark. Stokes, the pass to Pondexter. Over in the corner, Marshall. Passes to Quinn. No good off the back of the rim.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
And Marshall kicks to Stokes. Feeds it to Clark. To the inside. They double him with Noah. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Kevin, I've got a chance now to look at where the Cavaliers ranked in the NBA last season. 5th in three-point field goal percentage. 8th in scoring. And they were a top 10 team in field goal shooting. Pretty impressive.
And talking about their three-point percentage, really a hallmark, I think, of successful offenses in today's NBA. And they use that shot to a devastating effect all season long.
Now, here's O'Quinn. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. There's a screen. Now Pondexter. Down low. Here's Stokes. Soft touch off the glass. Stokes has got his second bucket of the night.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
And Noah with the slam.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Here's O'Quinn. From about 19 feet. And the shot is good. And still a close game as I-2 from the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment.
I gotta hold down the city. Gotta let you know where I come from.
And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly, he talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets the standard, but players individually call out other players, you know, whether it be timeout.
Don't you need a player like this, Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room, because Chandler has got that covered.
Rodney Hood.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
You know what? They're dominating on the backboard. They have controlled the paint thus far.
Flexing their muscles down low, and they've limited second chances too, guys.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. Tony Parker is out there with Ian Clark. And there's Gordon. Then it's Thomas. And it's Jefferson in at the 5, patrolling the paint. Cavaliers trailing. Clark, another milestone for Kobe Bryant last season. He reached 30,000 points and 6,000 assists, and no one else has ever done that.
Well, it's rare that you see scorers of that volume reach an assist total that high, but I think it speaks to Kobe's passing ability, which is undervalued and overshadowed. Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Goes back up. Jefferson's shot is off.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. It's stolen by Bryant. And here's the fast break. Carroll leading the way. And he gets the bucket. Westbrook's got his second bucket.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
Chandler with the block. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Bryant's running. It's Chicago with another bucket. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Bulls.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Carroll against Gordon. Now here's Noah. He's covered closely. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Carroll in the corner. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Noah's got 3 assists now in this one.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
So, timeout call here, the first for Cleveland.
Cheer them on. There we go. That was yours.
The Cavaliers trail by 10.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Jefferson's shot is off.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Gordon with no one around. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate.
And you know, it was just night and day, Keplik. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Baseline jumper. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And Parker, here we go, from down low. And that one's good. Parker's got 8 points in the quarter.
He has gotten into a great rhythm here in this quarter, playing with just bundles of confidence. Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Smith comes in for Damari Carroll. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Kobe. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Jefferson. Jarnell Stokes comes in for Gordon. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Thomas. And it's Marshall in for Hood. Outside Rose. Chandler a screen. Rose attacking. And there's Chandler. That's good on the assist by Rose.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assist. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And here is Marshall. They set the pick. To the paint, O'Quinn, an easy 2 points on the layup.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy do. Very, very well done.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available. Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Over in the corner, Rose. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Clark, he's checked in for Tony Parker. Chicago shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
Marshall with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Dishes to Pondexter. Here's the screen. He feeds it to Stokes. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Stokes has got 6.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
It's a great job getting the ball inside now. I mean, they're intentional about it. The coach really wants them to show some physical presence here in the second, and they've shown that. Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
And the shot is good. Rose has got the lead up to 12 now for the Bulls.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
No good with the layup.
The bucket just not well protected, but still he doesn't convert too often. That's been the story with him.
And we finished one half of basketball. It's the Bulls. They lead by 12. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, with Derrick Rose. Derrick, how does it feel to get back out there on the basketball floor here for the new season ahead?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Great to have you back, Derrick. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have amped up home crowd joining us for our halftime report. Ernie Johnson with the illustrious Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Derrick Rose taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 15 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. His opening period tonight, right on par with his performance last game out, which was outstanding. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
Well, Ernie, Kenny, the offense was running really well. And their shooting percentage was outstanding, and it wasn't just luck. It's because the offense never allowed the opposing defenders to get comfortable.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half. But that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Excellent game we've seen from Derrick Rose. He has 15 points, and he's made some good decisions with the basketball, too.
And being smart with the ball like he's been today, Clark, I think it's critical for him and them. He should repeat that every game.
The Bulls leading by 12. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. So the Bulls 5 right now. Taj Gibson is out there with Damari Carroll. And there's Bryant. Then there's Russell Westbrook. And it's Chandler in at the 5. Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are, Clark.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home.
Westbrook kicks to Chandler. It's stolen by Jefferson. Parker with it. Outside Gordon. Screen by Jefferson. The feed to Hood. There's the triple. And the shot is good. Hood's got the opening bucket to start the second half for Cleveland.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Gordon dishes to Parker. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Hands the 12-footer. Parker's got 12 points in the game.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
That's good. 6 points for Russell Westbrook.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. Defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
Gordon, the pass to Parker. The 10-footer. No luck. And in Chicago the other way. They've held a 12-point lead early. Here, matched up against Cleveland, is how they'll kick off the new season.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with 2 teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
To the middle, here's Jefferson. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's on Tyson Chandler.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible bounceability.
Joakim Noah's checked in for Chicago. Westbrook kicks to Carroll. Back to Westbrook. 5 on the clock. And it's Westbrook again missing.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5. And guys, you talk about players who have that killer instinct. Russell Westbrook is right at the top of that list.
Jefferson's shot is off. Chicago leading by 7. Kobe attacking. Rebound by Parker.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Jefferson has a wide open look. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Jefferson's got 6. And you think, Greg, about Westbrook's killer instincts. You were alluding to that. It's very apparent at times. Players praise, and Clark, I think, fear him for just that characteristic alone.
Well, how about this, Kevin? Kobe Bryant said Westbrook has the same love for competition that he has. Whenever other guards are pulled, Westbrook is their worst matchup.
Parker kicks to Jefferson. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And now just a 3-point Chicago lead.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
Bulls making a switch here. Rose is checked in. Good on the triple. Rose has got 18 points.
Derrick Rose. Cavaliers.
And the Cavaliers call time here. That's your big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
Kyle of the Cavaliers. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. O'Quinn's got his third basket of the night. Chicago leading by 4. Left side Rose, and he goes in for the dunk.
And folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Thomas dishes to Marshall. Inside, O'Quinn. Shot's good. Marshall making the play. Marshall's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And here are the Bulls now. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Rose goes in, and he slams it one-handed.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
The baseline J. The shot is off.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
The Bulls leading by 6. 1:44 left in the third. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons last year. They have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups form in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Here's Gibson. Another one falls for Chicago.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
He used that pick to perfection. And that's 10 points for Al Jefferson.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Outside Rose. 17-foot shot on the way. The Cavaliers trail by 5.
Clock is clearly on their side.
Exactly, and they can hold it for the last shot, and I think they will.
Now, here's Marshall. He's got 7. Back to Parker. Jefferson cleans up the mess with the savage putback flush.
That's the intensity you like to see on the offensive glass. Go get that pumpkin.
And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. Bulls lead by 3. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. The Cavaliers trail by 3 on the court for Cleveland. We've got Quincy Pondexter put out there with Ian Clark. Then it's Aaron Gordon. And it's Stokes with the 5 down low.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
No good from Clark. The Bulls leading by 5. Smith kicks it to Noah. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Pondexter, the pass to Hood. He dishes it to Clark. There's a screen. To the middle. Here's Stokes. And Chandler sends it back. And now here's Mail. The fast break opportunity. Westbrook can't get it to go.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk. Angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
To the left wing. Here's Hood. He's covered by Westbrook. Outside Gordon. 5 to shoot. Here's Hood. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. The Bulls shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. Westbrook can't get it to go.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Pass to Pondexter. Takes the 13-footer, and it's Chicago with the rebound. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Here's Westbrook. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. And that's 10 points for Russell Westbrook.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick-fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
Timeout called, Cleveland.
And it's not often that one of your enforcers is also one of your best three-point shooters. But such is the case with J.R. Smith. Everywhere he's gone, he's played both roles. Sometimes to the team's benefit, but others to its detriment.
Greg, on the topic of Smith, you never know what his personality is going to bring to the game, or Clark, even the moment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Moment to moment, it's an adventure. When the good JR is rolling, he's knocking down threes, playing solid D, creating havoc for the opponent. Bad JR is taking and missing wild shots, going to sleep on defense, and causing problems for his own team.
Yeah. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what David Blatt said to the team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
The Cavaliers trail by 7. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Here's Pondexter. Carroll covering. Pondexter dishes to Hood. They set the pick. Charity stripe shot. No good. And it's Chicago the other way. Outside Rose. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
That's his first personal foul.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Derrick Rose.
And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Tony Parker's checked in for Ian Clark. And Gibson sends it back.
Not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Yeah, but one more advantage in the stat column, and that's what's translated to this lead.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Parker against Rose. 6 to shoot. Now the pass to Pondexter. Shoots it up. That one a little long. Stokes. And Chandler sends it back. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court.
They just can't miss. Everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. They are certainly the bugs tonight. Nothing going their way.
And I'm not even sure that I'd want to be the windshield.
No, maybe the windshield wiper. Yeah, right. Chicago calls timeout.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Ryan is checked in for Damari Carroll. Al Jefferson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Lance Thomas comes in for Quincy Pondexter.
Such a strong finisher for a floor general.
He was up high, and he came down hard. Exquisitely done.
That's the uncanny ability he has to find a teammate for an easy basket or get one himself.
Jefferson's shot is off. Chicago with the ball. They're on a 13-4 run right now. And it's Rose missing.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Down low. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Chicago leading by 12. The kick out to Westbrook. Back to Rose. Pulls it from 20. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. 29 points for Derrick Rose.
A big part of this run here has been their ability to hit from mid-range, guys. I mean, that's unique.
And a lot of teams shy away from that mid-range, but if you can get them off of rhythm, then you can have success. It's really been a tale of two halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Rose double team to the paint. Stolen by Gordon. 1:37 left to play here in the fourth. The dish to Hood. Got a piece of it. Back to Parker. Clock at 6. Here's Jefferson. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Jefferson's got 4 points this quarter.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Derrick Rose again.
Derrick Rose.
And the Bulls lead by 12.
They're perfectly content to keep going to that mid-range jumper. If the defense is going to give it to them, they'll take it all day.
It's about getting open looks, and they've used that shot with great effect here tonight.
The 11-footer. They get the rebound. Jefferson. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Damari Carroll's checked in for Chicago. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Chicago.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
It's been a hot shooting night for them, too. I mean, they've hit a lot of those mid-range jump shots.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Bulls have gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. Offensive rebound. Here's Gibson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul. Taj Gibson.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And the second of 2 is good. That will put them up by 9. And the Cavaliers call time here. They're down by 9. There's 53 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Gordon. All sorts of time. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
Assist from Tony Parker.
Here's Westbrook. Now off the inbound. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They trail by 9. 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Chandler. Portis comes in for Taj Gibson. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Bryant. And it's Rose in for Russell Westbrook. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Jefferson. Jarnell Stokes comes in for Aaron Gordon. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Lance Thomas. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rodney Hood.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
And that one falls for Carroll.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They're behind by 12. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Shot from the inbound. Joakim Noah grabs the miss.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
And that one's good by Clark.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
And the shot is good.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans exactly what they wanted.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubts that they'd come out on top.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm here with J.R. Smith. This team really looked good tonight. What was the key out there?
I mean, our penetration was unbelievable tonight. Everybody was penetrating the ball. We weren't settling for jump shots and contested jumpers. And as long as we keep moving the ball, we'll be fine.
JR, appreciate the time as always. Kevin?
Doris, thank you as always. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And time now to head over to Ernie Johnson for the 2K postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
per te passo questo confine, portando nel bagagliaio cose che non ti posso dire. La mia vita.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose. He had an outstanding third quarter. Whatever they needed in terms of energy and offense, he was the firepower that propelled them during this. And that's it for our broadcast.